Hey everyone. Okay, today was E3 at the time of this recording. I'm also probably going to upload it today. But hello. This year's E3 was a little bit on the light side, not going to lie. I'm very disappointed with one of the two Smash DLCs that were announced. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the next Zelda game, the Breath of the Wild sequel trailer. It doesn't have an official name yet. All we got was this 1 minute trailer, but holy shit, there's so much Zelda lore to unpack. Every second of this trailer is packed with implications and theories to be made, to be had, to be studied, and this might not be like super obvious from just the Pokemon and Sonic videos on this channel, but I'm a big kind of lore guy. I love Xenoblade Chronicles, I love Dark Souls, and I really love Zelda. I know all the lore to Zelda, all the confirmed lore. I've watched all the game theories, all the fan theories online. I just bumped the mic, I'm sorry. Point is, I want to go through this trailer today and kind of freeze frame it as I go and just analyze and just figure out what this game's going to be about. Because just from the first time I watched it, oh my god, there's just every shot of the camera is like, that's from, and this is, and look, let's just go through it, okay? Let's look at this. Okay, so first off, I don't exactly know what these strings of energy are, like blue. They're kind of almost forming into like runes, like Hylian runes, but not really. Like, I don't know what this little pretzel dude is, and there's more in the back, and it's all flowing into this spiral. So this is the shot I wanted to study. I haven't actually looked into it too hard. I'm gonna change the quality. This is kind of pixely. So we have the Malice, like Ganon's Malice from Breath of the Wild that took over Hyrule in the first place. This whole area looks almost like a shrine, but it looks more like the Shrine of Resurrection that Link woke up in, more than any actual shrine you encounter in Breath of the Wild afterward. There's spikes coming out of the wall. There's a big conduit in the center here. That's where this green/blue energy is coming from. There's more Malice spewing right out the middle down into this figure, and there's a blue hand coming out of this spiral of energy. There's a lot to unpack here. I'm not, off the top of my head, not exactly getting what it is, but there's a shot later that kind of gives me an idea of what it might be, but it's purely conjecture, so let's continue. The music is also another thing I want to point out. I kind of want to like download this video and play it backwards, because this is obviously like a song backwards. I don't know if it's just like the Breath of the Wild theme backwards. It doesn't sound like Zelda's theme backwards, because Zelda's theme backwards is the Ballad of the Goddess, and it doesn't sound like that either. So I'll have to download it. I'll just put in another shot at the end or something of me analyzing it backwards. So we'll see about that. Okay, this shot right here. This is obviously like Link or Zelda holding a torch to this wall. This rune right here, this is obviously like, this looks a lot like Ganondorf, and he's taking over something, Hyrule probably. This looks like Ganon's horse from Ocarina of Time, honestly. And I'm just going through this. I've only seen the trailer once. I'm just looking at all this stuff right now. This kind of looks like the mountainous region that you see in the opening of Wind Waker, which is interesting. Okay, so it really looks like runes, some kind of language, but it doesn't look Hylian. It's probably Sheikah or something, but all the Sheikah runes were Hylian in Breath of the Wild, so I don't know what this is. It goes from green to blue into an arm that's grabbing this figure that is spewing the same malice that Ganon was consumed by / used in Breath of the Wild. Okay, okay. So these are the time crystals from Skyward Sword. So there's probably going to be some form, however slight, some form of time travel. Because if you look here, I'll even pull up a picture for you guys. Don't mind me, I was watching JoJo. Skyward Sword, time crystals. I spelled that wrong. Yeah, so this is obviously like the same thing, you know? Like, look at those blue time crystals, look at those time crystals, exact same shape. And when you hit them, they turn into that exact blue. Let me see if I can get a, yeah. So that is that. So definitely some deep lore here, because Skyward Sword is the origin, the earliest Zelda we have, the most lore of the Zelda universe all in one game is Skyward Sword. So the fact that we're getting such obvious references, like one-to-one, like they could have ripped the model from Skyward Sword and shoved it in this cave, that's a big deal. Because one of my biggest problems with Breath of the Wild was that there was just such little story and such little implication to the timeline of Zelda. And this is the polar opposite. This is like the most lore we've gotten since Skyward Sword, and the most lore we've gotten disregarding Skyward Sword, like, period. So I'm hyped for just for seeing this. You know, I haven't even gotten to the music yet, but let's continue. What's on the wall here? Some spirals. Does this look like a person? There's Zelda on some kind of buffalo. What's she got? I can't really make out any of the items. She just has a torch. There's a rat here. So we're probably not too far underground. It's probably like maybe under Hyrule Castle, or maybe it's not even in Hyrule. Okay, so Zelda's got a haircut, which is whatever. Link's got slightly different undergarments. He's got chain link now. He's got a sweater. So it's probably going to be more harsh environments. He has the Master Sword. No shield on him. Zelda's got some kind of flowery cape, just like Link. They're both dressed very similarly. So here we have the figure standing in the exact stance that I would like to point out that Ganondorf stands in every time he gets pierced with a Master Sword in the other 3 timelines. And he's spewing malice coming out all under him and also above him. Then we have this blue arm. Okay, more time crystals. Is that like a fish? What is that? I don't know what this little red thing is. Can't make it out. It kind of moved in, right? It's not really moving. I don't know, it might just be a rock or something. As we have the the water, some pillars, the rhino. Still can't make anything out in terms of what's on it. Is this Link? This looks like Zelda, right? This is really low quality. I wish they would get a better rip of this trailer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just Link and Zelda, right? I don't know. This person has big. I can't tell who's who. Right? I don't know. That was a weird shot. That was interesting. The rat being chased down by Malice, and this flows similarly to how Ganon flowed around Hyrule Castle in pig form, like at the beginning of the game. It flows like that, but it might be slightly different. It's more branchy and less fluid-y. Fluid. Like it looks like it wants to go somewhere more than how it did in Breath of the Wild, where it just wanted to be around Hyrule. Okay, big time, a lot of time crystals, and they're all activated is the thing. Because in Skyward Sword, they would be activated or deactivated. So like this is activated, and that's when you go back in time within its range. And then there is the deactivated ones where they just look like this. And so the lore behind these things is that I don't know if the goddesses created them, like did Naira and Furor created them, or They're just a natural part of Hyrule. But when they're struck, they create a field that takes you back in time, like that. And so this whole cave is filled with them. So I'm thinking that this cave is just a big space that is separate from whenever Breath of the Wild happens, time-wise. Like, this is like Link and Zelda right now are in a totally different time than Breath of the Wild, either before or after. I don't know, could be either. I would guess before, because the time stones would usually take you to a before time in Skyward Sword, but it was never touched upon whether or not they could bring you to the future or not. So we got the figure here again. Here's where we see him. So red matted hair, Ganondorf. Yellow jewels, Ganondorf. Standing in that same stance that Ganondorf is, pierced through the chest with the Master Sword, but it's not the Master Sword. It's this green and blue hand with this gold plating on it. And I have no clue what that can be. I'm really thinking. The only thing I can think of is this decoration on his arm kind of reminds me of the temple keys in Skyward Sword. Like, they were all complicated. Like, the ancient cistern key was like a big snake looking thing. It looks like he's got an ancient cistern key on his arm. I don't know if that is on purpose. I don't know if that's correct, but it's got a green aura flowing through it, which really just contrasts the malice that Ganon, if this is Ganon, is spewing out, because I have an alternate theory. But the hand is also like old and decrepit. It looks like an old man, almost like one of the shrine guardians, whatever they were called in the shrines. Let me go back to that shot. Okay, so we got the yellow jewel on the head. That's reminiscent of Twilight Princess Ganondorf, right? Yeah. So that's a pretty obvious nod, if anything. That's got to be something, right? He's got like a skull decoration on his shoulder there. He's got this brown tunic going on. Is there any other Zelda game where he kind of wears that? Maybe he's like Pig Ganon. He kind of dresses like that in like the Fallen Hero timeline. He's all skeletal, and this arm is, I don't know if it's sucking the malice out of him, or pushing more into him, and he's spewing it out the bottom because he's overflowing with it. I have no idea. But then we get this shot of Link mirroring the hand. His arm turns blue, and he's like, "Oh no!" So what does that mean? And then the malice spews out of Ganon into the conduit in the ceiling. Okay, so that's a little shot about this Link helping Zelda. You can tell by the sleeves. Is there some tragedy that happens in that cave where Zelda needs some saving? Okay, this cave. What's this all about? Is this something in Breath of the Wild? I don't recognize it immediately. This looks like it might be something down in the Faron region in Breath of the Wild. It's too low res, I can't really tell. This looks like it might be some kind of indicator of like where it is, like a sign. I don't know. Go in there, and the hand is now not on that figure. It is now trying to grab, pretty sure this is Link. Yeah, it grabs Link and saves him from some fall. There's still malice around here, floating around. Oh boy, such fast shots. I can't really. Okay, so there's like one frame of this, and I can't really tell what this is. This is just like, it almost looks like when the hand grabs the figure. This looks like it's the moment when this spiral of energy first appears before Link and Zelda. Literally 2 frames of that. Like, you gotta be analytical. This is why I love Xenoblade. Xenoblade does stuff like this. But now Zelda's doing it, oh man, forget it. I feel like Monolith Soft are like writing this game rather than just creating the world for it this time, which is fine by me. Okay, so here we have a silhouette and the hand again, and the energy spiral. It's all grayed out, so this leads me to believe it's like a flashback, because like all the flashbacks in Breath of the Wild were grayed out most of the time. I really want to go like frame by frame, but I don't know if there's an option to. Oh, you know, I can playback speed it. Here we go. Let's do that. Okay, well that sounds awful, but we're gonna deal with it. So we got a little bit darker, a little bit more color. So there's still these spikes coming out of the wall, so this leads me to believe we're in the same chamber as in the beginning, but there's way more light on the wall. So I don't know if this is like, I don't know if there's a hole in the ceiling or something leading outside, and this is like daytime. Zelda and Link, and what is that fire? The ground falls beneath them. I guess that's right before Link grabs Zelda and saves her. There's the hand of the figure, and it moves. Zelda's like, oh shit. Hair's flowing, and he falls back further than he was before. He was awakened somehow. Whatever happened here. This earring looks very Gerudo. Oh, okay, hold on. I might be seeing things. Okay. So the malice is flowing inward towards this figure right now during this shot as he's awakening. So either he controls the malice, or the hand was driving the malice into him, or trying to keep the malice away from him to keep him asleep or whatever. Something's going on with this energy. He's like shaking, he's all skeletal. Okay. We just yeah, that is 100% Ganon's forehead jewel from Twilight Princess. And Ocarina of Time, actually, he wore the same thing. But that is the same Ganondorf, so. I guess they had that in Wind Waker also. I don't really remember about the Fallen Heroes on that. But yeah, this is... My speculation is that this might be Demise, but the jewel here, as I've been watching this video right here, right now, is kind of leading me to believe that it is like definitely supposed to be Ganondorf, just because he's decorated as Ganondorf. But like, obviously, we haven't seen Ganondorf with this super long, stringy, flowing red hair. Even in Ocarina of Time, it was like shoulder length, a little bit longer than that. Other than that, every Ganondorf we've seen has had short orange hair. No, orange hair, not even like super dark red like this. The only dark red hair we've seen like this was Demise or Ganon in Hyrule Warriors, which is not canon as fuck. So it's kind of ambiguous. I'm pretty sure it's Ganon, but it really reminds me of Demise. So it's creepy, that's for sure. And his eyes activate, and they look just like the eyes that you shoot in the dungeons and everything. Whenever there's malice, you gotta shoot the eye to keep it from spawning floating skulls and stuff like that in Breath of the Wild. Those are like the same eyes. Okay, and they're orange instead of like there's obviously a color contrast here, yellow, orange, red, and also this jewel is glowing very noticeably now. Don't know what that means, other than he's alive. Okay, and then we get the shot of Hyrule, and this is obviously the exact same Hyrule as in Breath of the Wild. So this, outside of whatever time lapse they're inside that cave with the time crystals, outside of whenever that is, this is the same. Like, could be days after the end of Breath of the Wild 1. It really looks it's exactly the same, graphically even. You can even see like the details down here in the Great Plateau where there's the stump that you know, and there's just fallen log, and then like the old man's or King Rome's little camp would be under this tree here, you know, and up here would be the shrine right past the camera, and we get this nice center shot of Hyrule Castle. There's Death Mountain, and it's like just morning, so it could be after we get that shot of the silhouette, wherever that was. Like right here, it looks like this is right after this shot, because like this is obviously not in chronological order in terms of when the shots happen. And I think that has a little bit of impact because the time crystals fuck with time, so the trailer fucks with time. So like this shot happens right before this shot, but there's like this whole minute long in between, or like 20-second in between. And there's like all this stuff that's like ambiguous towards like, oh, he saved Zelda right there. You know what I'm talking about. You get it, like it's not in chronological order. But anyways, after this, I remember this, Hyrule Castle. I should probably just turn this back. Hyrule Castle explodes, and it's right around the outside. So this whole cavern they were in the whole time, probably underneath Hyrule Castle. I mean, that's where Ganon was throughout Breath of the Wild. So this Ganondorf-like figure, probably also there. And judging by the explosion happening under Hyrule Castle, I mean, I don't particularly remember like if there was like some, I don't know, secret passage that you couldn't get into in Breath of the Wild, like some Easter egg, like this door's locked or something. I don't remember anything like that, so either they'll just shoehorn that in the beginning of this game, or something else wacky, like there's a tunnel system. Something's gonna happen that's gonna entice us to go underneath Hyrule Castle. I'm feeling like maybe it's that like we defeated Ganon at the end of Breath of the Wild, and we meet up with Zelda and everything works out and everything's great, and there's no story and it sucks, and that's why I didn't like the ending of Breath of the Wild. But the malice doesn't go away. Turns out Ganon wasn't the cause of all this evil black goop all over Hyrule, or at least the Calamity Ganon that we saw in Breath of the Wild. That's my theory. Yeah, it's a big explosion underneath Hyrule Castle. All these birds like, oh no. So this shockwave reached all the way to the Great Plateau, which is like across most of Hyrule, like at least half the whole distance of Hyrule right here. And it's rising. I didn't notice this. It's rising into the sky, like the DLC Maz Koshia Shrine after you get, or right before you get Master Cycle 0. I don't know if that has any connection. Vomito is not there. Vomito should be on the perch here, right? And you probably wouldn't be able to tell if Rodania's here. You can't see the other two, but like noticeably, I'm pretty sure Vomito would be in this area, probably on top of this rock in the background, or maybe flying. Nowhere to be seen here. So that's interesting. And there's this big There's this little structure in the center here, in the center of Hyrule Field. This looks different. I didn't notice that until right now. I don't remember there being such a big mass, you know? I thought like the tower was here. The towers, there's no towers you can see. There should definitely be like the central tower, like right here. And it's not there. And that's very interesting. I don't know if that's on purpose, or they just made an oversight because something's gonna happen with the towers. I have no idea. So yeah, Hyrule Castle starts to rise up out of the ground. Hold on, let me see that shot one more time. Ooh, you know what? Oh fuck, you know what? You know what else? I'm thinking, this is also just conjecture, but I'm thinking I can kind of see a form right under here. Like that's almost like an arm, and this is almost like the body of something. I'm getting some real fucking ending of Majora's Mask vibes here, guys. Like real grass head woman legs going on. Like I can't see it very clearly, but it really looks like it's not just floating. It looks like it's being lifted. That's all I'm saying. Let me go back to this energy. It doesn't exactly look like what was in the Sheikah stones. Whenever you would like get a rune or a map, it doesn't exactly look like that. It's super reminiscent of something. I'm trying to remember what in Breath of the Wild it looks exactly like that. Like whenever you would shoot an ancient arrow, this kind of aura would be around it, or your bombs would kind of look like that. Something like that. There's a heartbeat. Is that Ganondorf's heartbeat? Is that Zelda's heartbeat? Is that Link's heartbeat? It gets fainter. And that's it. Okay. So, alright. It was pretty good. I examined a lot. I'm thinking I want to download the video and play it backwards and listen to that music, because that 100% is important. I know, like, all right. So turns out somebody did it for me already. It's just also on YouTube. I just looked it up. Here it is. 5 seconds later. Let's watch it in reverse now, because that seems very important musically, audibly. So we gotta listen close. I'm gonna turn the volume up. That almost sounds, this sound of this energy flowing backwards almost doesn't really sound like it's backwards. This sounds like it's the correct way, right? That's weird. I really feel like this is intentional. Like Nintendo really wants you to play this in reverse. The sound really sounds correct in reverse. None of this sounds like it's like it doesn't sound like that. Like how you would expect from reversing any audio. This really sounds like Nintendo's like, okay, here's the trailer. You should watch this in reverse. Okay, now I'm hearing an organ, just like Ganon's theme in Ocarina. Go back a little bit. That's the sound of each note is familiar. Maybe something from Twilight Princess. That's really this specific sound, like that sort of semi-orchestral, semi-techno, like woman's voice kind of noise. I really distinctly remember it in another Zelda. I'm trying to remember which one. Does it maybe sound like Fi? I don't know about that. I'll play that again. Ooh, that's killing me. Ooh, that's killing me. I don't recognize the melody. I'm just trying to figure out the sound. It's definitely in Zelda. Elsewhere. Shit. What? This is driving me insane. Where's that sound elsewhere in Zelda? It is like fucking decibel per decibel elsewhere in Zelda, and I cannot put my finger on it. It's either Twilight Princess or Skyward Sword, but I can't tell for sure. Or it might be Ocarina of Time, god damn it. Wow, that is driving me nuts. I'm gonna be back when I think of it. If I think of it. Oh my god. Oh. This isn't it. This isn't it. Fuck. Oh. This is really killing me, guys. Is that it? Oh, that's close. Oh man. Oh man. That's not it.
Dan here from Wiki.
This probably isn't it. I'm going insane. I need to know what the sound is.
Steal from me, will it to you steal from me, will it to champion steal play do the from here for all bites. Always the some access as so. The best way to show that the
None of that's it. I'm looking for the... You know what? Play this in double speed. I want to play this one in double speed now. This is killing me. I'm gonna die. This exact sound is in another Zelda game. You know what I might be thinking of? I might be thinking of this. This is what's really getting stuck in my head when I listen to this. And like Breath of the Wild and this are made by Monolith, or at least in part. And it seems like Monolith really wants to inject a lot more story into this one. But I super heavily feel that this sound is in another Zelda game, but whenever I get close to thinking about where it's really from, I hear this. Oh boy. I don't know. You guys can theorize in the comments, I guess. I can't figure it out off the top of my head right now. If I come up with something, I'll make another video, but that's all I got, really. I'm hyped for the sequel, at least. I hope you guys are. Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks. Wow, this... Ooh. I need this game.